Alvin Kamara returns to haunt Mike Zimmer in repeat of Vikings' Christmas disaster. Sunday's performance from Kamara might have looked quite familiar to Vikings fans. Mike Zimmer is going to have nightmares about Alvin Kamara for the rest of his life. On Sunday, a mere few years since Kamara torched Zimmer's Vikings with 6 touchdowns on Christmas Day, the Saints running back made mincemeat of Zimmer's Dallas defense as he exploded for 180 total yards and 4 touchdowns as New Orleans obliterated the Cowboys 44-19 on Sunday. Vikings fans will remember the last time a Zimmer-led defense faced Kamara. It was in 2020, Zimmer's penultimate season as Vikings head coach, when Kamara ran for 155 yards and 6 touchdowns and the Saints walloped Minnesota 52-33 to crush the Vikings' playoff hopes and ruin Christmas for millions of Minnesotans. In the last 8 quarters of football against Zimmer's defenses, Kamara has 47 touches for 352 yards and 10 touchdowns. Adding to the irony on Sunday in Dallas was that Clint Kubiak was calling the plays for the Saints against his former boss's defense. Kubiak was the quarterback's coach under Zimmer in Minnesota in 2019 and 2020 before being promoted to Zimmer's offensive coordinator in 2021. Kubiak clearly knew how to expose weaknesses in Zimmer's scheme. Blame Zimmer for getting outcoached? Cowboys star linebacker Micah Parsons says the lousy effort had nothing to do with Zimmer. Zim ain't the one playing. Parsons posted on X. In fairness, the Saints lit up the Panthers for 47 points in Week 1, and after hanging 44 on the Cowboys in Dallas, they look like they might be a legitimate contender in the NFC. The next test for New Orleans will be a home date with the Philadelphia Eagles this coming Sunday. Zimmer, meanwhile, will have to game plan for Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, who visit Dallas for the 3:25 p.m. Central Time kickoff on Sunday. General view of the New Orleans Saints and New Orleans Pelicans interview room before the start of rookie minicamp at the New Orleans Saints training facility. The New Orleans Pelicans and New Orleans Saints share many things in the city of New Orleans. Both teams share a practice facility in the suburb of Metairie, and both share property in the vicinity of the downtown part of the city. In Sunday's dominating victory over the Dallas Cowboys, a couple of Pelicans players shared their love for the Saints on social media. After the Saints went up 21-6 early in the second quarter, newly acquired guard DeJounte Murray tweeted that Saints defensive end Chase Young told him the team would be for real this season. Murray is the Pelicans' prized off-season acquisition after trading away Larry Nance, Jr., Dyson Daniels, Cody Zeller, E.J. Liddell, and 2 future first-round picks for the dynamic All-Star guard. Murray is a known Seattle Seahawks fan, being born and raised in Seattle, Washington, but since arriving in New Orleans has embraced his new team and city. "I understand my role in this business. I'm a basketball player. As far as New Orleans, this is home now," Murray told reporters during his introductory press conference. The former All-Star guard is expected to help the Pelicans compete in the loaded Western Conference this upcoming season. The Pelicans will only go as far as star Zion Williamson takes them, but the star forward was in Dallas watching the Saints-Cowboys matchup. Many know Williamson's affinity for the city of Dallas, calling Big D one of his favorite NBA cities to play in. The 2-time All-Star posted his support for the Pelicans on Instagram. This is an important 6th season upcoming for Williamson. He had the healthiest season of his career but injured himself in the play-in tournament game versus the Los Angeles Lakers. His hamstring injury sidelined him for the rest of the season, preventing him from participating in the playoffs. Williamson has yet to play in a playoff game in his career. Starting guard C.J. McCollum also posted about the Saints' 44-19 victory on his social media. The team begins training camp on October 1st in Nashville, Tennessee, while the team's training facility goes through renovations. New Orleans won 49 games last season, the second most in franchise history. Despite the record, the Pelicans finished as the 8th seed and were swept in the first round of the playoffs. New Orleans has plenty of questions heading into the new year, including Brandon Ingram's contract dispute and the lack of size in the frontcourt. The Pelicans have increased their win total in all 3 seasons under coach Willie Green and will look to move past the first round of the playoffs for the first time since 2018. So, about that Mike Zimmer defense, huh? After a flawless Week 1 showing, the Dallas Cowboys allowed the New Orleans Saints to score a touchdown on all of their 5 possessions in the first half. Not even Fox color analyst Tom Brady could make sense of the no-show. Much like the January playoff loss against the Packers, the Cowboys' defense hasn't given Dak Prescott and the offense a chance. Prescott has done everything in his power to keep Dallas within striking distance if the defense gets it together in the second half. Yes, the Cowboys trailed 35-16 at halftime, but 16-point first half against a talented Saints defense should at the very least have them in the lead or within 1 score. Having said that, there was a back-breaking sequence late in the second quarter that deflated Cowboys fans' hope of a comeback. Trailing 28-13 and driving, Prescott looked in the direction of Jalen Brooks. The second-year receiver slipped on his route and the pass was intercepted. The mistake capped a nightmare first half from Brooks, which prompted Brady to say that Prescott should not look the WR's way again. Love Tom Brady's honest right there. I feel like most guys would say you've got to trust the WR in that situation, and Tom's like, nah, don't think I'm looking back his way after he did me like that. Prescott did not listen to Brady's advice, but that was out of his power. He targeted Brooks on the Cowboys' next possession before halftime. Brooks made the play and helped get the offense in field goal range, but it's easy to understand why Brady would not look Brooks away again. It's impossible to say if the Cowboys would have scored a TD had Brooks not slipped. However, it was a 2-possession game at the time. The turnover gave the ball back to a scorching Saints offense, which swiftly scored another touchdown to extend their lead to 35-13. Prescott has helped keep the game marginally competitive. The lopsided score is not indicative of Prescott's performance. He is playing at an all-pro level. Brady recognized that and was quick to defend the 32-year-old QB from the box score watchers who will get on their soapbox Monday morning and attempt to drag Prescott for committing a crucial turnover. As for Brooks, it might be time for the Cowboys to give 6th-round rookie Ryan Flournoy a look next week. An end-around to Brandon Cooks in the first half would have gone for a touchdown if Brooks didn't miss his block. Dallas settled for a field goal, so it was a 4-point mistake. Brady was right to call out Brooks, who has not received a target from Prescott in the second half as of this writing. Head coach Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys were riding high heading into their home opener against the New Orleans Saints on Sunday. Dallas went into Cleveland and knocked the socks off the Browns in Week 1. This was looking like a well-oiled machine. Then, the unfathomable happened. Dallas was torn to shreds by Derek Carr and the Saints, losing in front of its home crowd by the score of 44-19. The team gave up 35 points in the first half alone, including a 70-yard and 57-yard touchdown passes. Owner Jerry Jones was shell-shocked before the teams made their way into the locker room amid boos from fans in Big D. Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy and owner Jerry Jones cannot believe what they are seeing. The Cowboys have given up 35 points in the first half, matching the most the Cowboys have ever given up in a first half in team history. As noted, those 35 points represent the most Dallas has yielded in any half of football in the history of the organization. Yes, embarrassing. For McCarthy, this is the latest example of his failure to get his team ready to play. Primarily, we've seen this happen in the playoffs. It's one of the many reasons he headed into the 2024 NFL season firmly on the hot seat. Dallas has not earned a spot in the NFC Championship game since after the 1995 season. The team has seen its season come to an end in the playoffs against the rival San Francisco 49ers, twice, and Green Bay Packers over the past 3 years. Despite this, Jones has stayed loyal to McCarthy. Whether that continues depends heavily on how Dallas rebounds from this disaster next week against the equally disappointing Baltimore Ravens. But for now, McCarthy is under fire. Check out these reactions to what we saw in Dallas during NFL Week 2 on Sunday.